Fish on. Is that a bass? It's fighting like one. It is. It is a bass. Hey everyone, welcome to the Different Fins channel. It is the middle of September. I'm just out here doing some whatever fishing. And I'm finding some nice, healthy smallmouth bass. I know they're mainly a sport fish, but when you could find them healthy, you cook them up in a Cajun batter and they are delicious. I know to some, keeping bass may seem blasphemous, but where I live, they're actually an invasive species and they tend to take over our lakes. So I would encourage people to come up to northwestern Ontario, keep a few bass and eat them. I enjoy them, they're around, but they don't really belong here. I just caught my first one, so it's kind of an improvised video. Yeah, I'm gonna get a few more, clean them up, and show you how I cook them. Oh, fish on. That was a weird tap. Fighting like another bass. Yep. There we go. These bass in here are so healthy looking. I'm so used to seeing parasites on them, and yeah. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna keep a couple of them and do a shore lunch. Cajun bass. If you haven't tried bass meat in Cajun batter, you're missing out. Fish on. He's fighting like another bass. Yep. Another bronze back. Oh. Oh, they fight so good. I understand why people like them for sport fish, but sorry. They are invasive here, so. But yeah. They're very, very, very pretty here. Like, just the stained water gives them that really bronze finish. But again, sorry little guy. Another one for the frying pan. Really? That fast? Fish on. Wow. This is what happens when you have an invasive species with no natural predators. They take over the lake. I caught the first bass just around the corner. I made it 200 feet. And there's number 3. One more to fill a limit. Yep. Fish number 3. Another nice eating sized. Sorry. Fish on. This is my fourth bass. Yep. Yep. Four bass in less than 400 yards. Plus I missed a few. Oh. And in the net. Okay, I'm done bass fishing. Yep. Figures I get the last one right in front of a beaver lodge. Those are typically fish magnets. There. Smaller guy, but I don't exactly want the 4 or 5 pound bass for keeping. But I do want them out of this lake. Healthy fish. Tasty fish. That's it for the fishing portion of this video. Let's clean them up and cook them. Time to clean these fish. I'm not going to show the full process because, you know, social media and community guidelines. Don't want to get in trouble. Anyway, if you know how to clean a walleye, you know how to clean a bass. Instead of slabbing though, if you do it the other style where you cut down the back and then around the ribs, because the ribs on a bass are really thick, you'll be able to get all that meat off. I don't understand why people don't keep bass more often or at all. This is one limit. They're probably about 14, 15-inch bass, and there's 3-4 pounds of meat here. Excellent quality meat. You know, I've had it before. I know it tastes great. And if you find a lake that has bass without the parasites, do yourself a favor. Keep a couple limits. They taste great. They're very abundant. They're easier to catch than walleye. So, what are you waiting for? Let's cook them up. You know, since I've got so much meat from those 4 bass, I am going to do a catch and cook and cook. I'm going to do Cajun bass, 2 different styles. I'm going to be cooking up the bass 2 different methods, but for each recipe, I'm going to be using the same Cajun seasoning. It's the stuff we make right here at home. Here's the recipe. 1 tablespoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons paprika, 1 tablespoon black pepper, 2 tablespoons onion powder, 1 tablespoon cayenne pepper, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 2 tablespoons of red pepper flakes, and 1 tablespoon of white pepper. Alright, round 1, we're going to do some bass with the Cajun seasoning, pan-seared in olive oil. Before I get to the bass, the side dishes take a bit longer. I'm going to start with 2 cups of homemade chicken stock, cook that up with some rice. Then I'm going to saute up some vegetables. I got red bell pepper, celery, onion, and carrot. I'm going to saute that, mix it in with the rice. The stock is melted. There's some bubbles forming in there. So, time for the rice. Stir that in. Then I'm going to reduce to a simmer. Now that the rice is in, I'm just going to add a bit of olive oil to the veg. Get that on. Start sauteing. Time for the fish. I cut them up into smaller pieces. It's just easier to manage in the frying pan, and it coats nicer. You get more seasoning. There's some excess there. This is kind of hard to film and do this at the same time, but I generously coated the fish with the seasoning. Time for the oil. Add a little bit of salt to the veg. First batch of fish is looking close to being done. Oh yeah. Let's see how the rice is doing. Just about finished. I think it's time to add the sauteed veg. Ooh. Do something just like that. Mix it in. Oh, steamy. I'll mix it all together, then I'm gonna cover it up. Let it simmer just a little while longer till it fully cooks. Then serve it up. Before I'm done cooking, I'm gonna give it a quick taste test. Ooh. Hot. Temperature-wise. And spice-wise. A nice little heat to it. Good kick. Right on. Well, the fish is done. How about the side dish? Oh yeah, I'd say it's done. Ooh, steamy. Here it is, all plated up. This is how I do it. Just kidding, this is the dish for my 2-year-old girl. She loves fish. Might be a bit spicy for her though. Well, that was round 1 of the cooking. It was good, really good. I thought it might have been a little spicy for my 2-year-old girl, but she made that fish disappear. Not so much the rice and veg, but she loved the fish. So did I, so did the wife. Nice heat to it, great texture because it was pan-seared in olive oil. This round, I'm not doing a full meal, I'm just gonna do the meat, but I'm gonna try baking it this time. Same flavor, same ingredients, but different texture maybe. Texture means a lot in cooking, so it's not just the flavors. I'll critique it when it's done and compare the two, see which one I like better. Yesterday's meal it's gonna be hard to beat. Anyway, let's get started. All right, 4 more fillets, 2 fish. This time I'm gonna bake them using the same Cajun seasoning. You could probably hear my dishwasher running underneath this. I seasoned both sides, kind of rubbed it right into the meat. Then, use some olive oil. I know the lighting's bad. Just run the olive oil on it like this. Lightly brush it on so it's coated. And do that all over the fish. There's the fish, seasoned, both sides, brushed with olive oil on parchment paper. I'm going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees, start with 15 minutes, and if it's not quite done, I'll leave it in a few minutes more. Alright, that's 15 minutes. It's looking good, but I think I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. That looks pretty good. 17 minutes at 400 degrees. I'm going to let it cool down for a few minutes and then do a taste test. Oh yeah. It has all the same flavor. Pretty much everything's the same as yesterday's fish, except the texture. If I had to choose one that I would cook with all the time, I would do the pan-sear. Just that higher temperature, you get a nice crispy texture. It just elevates the fish. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have lakes that are as full of bass as the lakes where I live, keep a few. They taste great, good sized fish, easy to catch, around here anyway. And contrary to popular belief, if you keep fish in a lake that's overpopulated, the ultimate size will actually get larger. These fish are competing for food, and by thinning the herd, you're going to ultimately end up with larger fish. So it's a win-win. Eat some of the smaller fish, thin the herd, and you have bigger fish for trophies. Anyway, I'm going to finish this. Keep eating. Tight lines, everyone. We'll catch you next time.